Site information. This site is classified as a major hazard installation in terms of the Occupational Health and Safety Act 85 of 1993. We receive, manufacture, store, and dispatch a number of hazardous chemicals, and therefore, you must pay careful attention to this induction video. Stop all unsafe work and report any unsafe conditions. Certifications. In an effort to manage safety, health, environment, and quality, we subscribe to the following standards: ISO 9001, ISO 14001, ISO 45001, and responsible care. Entrance requirements. All visitors and contractors must proceed to security where they will meet their host. Personal protective equipment. The standard PPE for entrance into the manufacturing areas are a hard hat, eye protection, hearing protection to be worn in demarcated areas, an acid and flame retardant overall with reflective tapes, and safety footwear with impact protection, impermeable, and anti-slip soles. Other PPE may be necessary based on the area or task risk assessment. The following items are prohibited on this site: knives, firearms, any illegal or intoxicating substances. No cell phones are allowed in the plant manufacturing areas due to the risk they can pose. Visitors must remain with their host at all times. Hazard awareness. When you are in the plant, be on the lookout for any spillages, moving or rotating equipment, mobile plant, suspended loads, or any other potential hazards. Harm may be caused by chemicals in different ways, some over a short time and others over a longer time. Exposure can occur by inhalation, skin or eye contact, or ingestion. Always ensure you are protected. What to do if you come into contact with a harmful chemical? If splashed with harmful chemicals on the skin or eyes, it is very important to wash the affected area immediately. Never delay washing. Diphoterine is the most effective solution and must be the first option for applying to the affected area. Use the entire contents of the diphoterine container. If there is no diphoterine available, then use the safety shower or eye wash fountain and wash the affected area for 20 minutes with water. Remove contaminated clothing and contact lenses. Do not put contaminated clothes back on. Incidents must be reported immediately to your host or responsible person. Actions in case of an emergency situation such as a gas release, fire, or explosion. All persons not part of the emergency team must proceed to the G room. Take note of the wind direction and move upwind in the case of a gas leak. Once in the G room, follow the instructions of the senior person in charge. When the condition is safe, the all clear will be initiated by the emergency coordinator or MPRO controller as per the extent of the emergency. This is a siren with 3 consecutive bursts of the alarm, each of approximately 5 seconds duration. The MPRO alarm is tested on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. This test consists of sounding the siren alarm for a short duration from the central gate. Our site is governed by various legislations which include acts and regulations, municipal bylaws, etc. Management of incidents. Incidents on site. All incidents must be reported immediately to your responsible AECI employee or security so that the necessary corrective measures may be taken. Pedestrians must be aware of moving vehicles and forklifts on site. Before crossing any road, ensure that it is safe to do so. Alcohol and drug abuse. The nature of our business makes it extremely dangerous for any individual to drive or operate any equipment or work while under the influence of intoxicating substances. Therefore, we have adopted a zero-tolerance approach when it comes to drugs and alcohol. If taking prescription medication that may impair your judgment, consult the occupational medical practitioner at Life Clinic. Life-saving behaviors. These life-saving behaviors have been developed to save lives and must always be followed. Each and every one of us is responsible for both our individual and collective well-being. This induction is valid for a period of 12 months. Remember to zero in before, during, and after any task. Our goal is zero harm, so we can all go back home safely to our families.
First up, sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is the champion of corrosives. We have it at different concentrations. At 98%, it can be clear like water. and is oleum, or sometimes referred to as fuming sulfuric acid. It can be brownish with an oily appearance. A single drop of acid can blister your skin, or even blind an eye, in a matter of seconds. It eats through metal very quickly. It will react violently with water, so be careful on how you clean up spills or try to dilute acid. Breathing in the vapor, and you risk harming your lungs. If it touches skin or eyes, flood the area immediately with diphoterine, then get medical help without delay. Next up, we have crude sulfur and molten sulfur. Crude sulfur is that familiar yellow powder. Molten sulfur is the same material heated until it flows like a syrup, very hot, sticky, and still flammable. Dust clouds can ignite or even explode in confined spaces. The sulfur dioxide gas released in a sulfur fire irritates the lungs and eyes and can make firefighting challenging. Physical burns with hot molten sulfur need to be cooled with water as quick as possible. Next, let's talk about sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Both gases are harmful if inhaled. SO2 is colorless with a sharp lung irritant. SO3 goes further, reacting violently with moisture in the air and turns into a white cloud. It can react with the moisture in your eyes and airway and therefore harmful if inhaled. They're not flammable. Continuous monitoring with gas detectors, good ventilation, and quick leak isolation are essential. Therefore, we have multiple sulfur dioxide monitors around the entire sulfur plant. If exposure happens, move to an area with clean air immediately and report the exposure. Next, let's discuss caustic, or sodium hydroxide. It is like the opposite of a strong acid, but just as dangerous as an alkaline. These solutions or flakes can cause serious harm to organic tissue, and even cause blindness on contact. It also eats away at aluminum, zinc, and other softer metals. If there's any splash to skin or eyes, rinse immediately with diphoterine and get medical help right away. Moving along, we have phenol. Phenol can appear as crystals or a syrupy liquid with a medicinal smell. It's very quick at soaking through skin, where it numbs nerves as it burns tissue and targets the central nervous system. Handle it in a fume hood with suitable gloves, goggles, face shield, and a full chemical suit. Store it cool and away from oxidizers. Skin contact gets the same diphoterine flush followed by urgent medical treatment. If inhaled, move to an area with fresh air and monitor for any symptoms. Next, we'll cover formaldehyde and formalin. Both are common preservatives with a reputation for irritation and a strong suspicion of cancer risk after long exposure. They're flammable, and even short contact reddens eyes, skin, and throat. Use an organic vapor respirator, tight-fitting goggles, and chemical gloves. Work only under strong ventilation and keep spill control kits handy if exposure occurs. Move to an area with clean air. Rinse eyes or skin with diphoterine, and let medical professionals take it from there. Methanol. Methanol resembles water, but can be very dangerous. It can blind or kill even at low doses because the body metabolizes it into formaldehyde and formic acid. Its vapor catches fire easily, and the flame that is produced is almost invisible during the day. No hot work or any tools or equipment that creates sparks are allowed in the vicinity of where methanol may be present, unless under strict permat conditions. Chemical-resistant gloves, safety glasses, and good ventilation are the rule. Store it in tightly sealed, flame-proof containers away from ignition sources. A splash calls for a diphoterine rinse and swift medical help. If inhalation exposure occurs, move to fresh air and observe, since symptoms can be delayed. We've covered a lot about our chemicals, right? Keeping yourself safe starts with knowing what you're dealing with, wearing the right PPE every single time, and sticking to site procedures. I must stress the significant harm these chemicals can cause if mishandled or improperly disposed of. Substances like sulfuric acid, caustic soda, and formaldehyde are not only hazardous to human health, they also pose serious risks to soil and water systems, where even small leaks or spills can lead to long-term contamination. Sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide contribute to acid rain, damaging ecosystems and corroding infrastructure. while methanol and phenol are toxic to aquatic life and can persist in groundwater. If not neutralized correctly, formalin and formaldehyde, both suspected carcinogens, can pollute air and water and should never be poured down drains or left exposed. All these chemicals require strict adherence to waste disposal protocols, neutralization, or containment, disposal through licensed hazardous waste handlers. If you're ever unsure about any chemical, its safety and health hazards, or environmental impacts, just check the safety data sheet or consult the on-site EHS team. Stay safe out there. Thanks.